Today, we are doing a live stream. How are you? I am fantastic and I am doing really well. Sort of. I am actually fantastic and doing really well, to be fair. I'll stick them Bublés on for you. I know how you're a huge fan. Oof! Let's have a look. Stream brought to you by Quackhead Productions. That's not a bad call, actually. Pradeep, welcome. Cat, after looking at the back of bottles, yes, it's my friend's cat, not mine. Brian, is this Cartoon Network? Because I'm waiting on DuckTales. Oh, very good. Poor hungry kitty. Nah, kitty's spoiled rotten, to be fair. Hello, Rachel, how are you? And who is this? JOSL. Or I. Hello there. I haven't seen you before. How are you? But I do know someone called Josiah Sanchez that sort of has their name spelled out like that. But how are you? If you are Josiah, welcome Josiah. If you are just Jostle, welcome Jostle. Or Josie. Sorry. Rachel, just got my full bottle of Escalon Haiti in the mail today. Nice. Came with a full bottle of Chypre Palatin. What, at the same time? Overload. Ooh, excuse me. And again, I've just downed a lot of water. I do beg your pardons. For I have just taken poison. Aha! I reckon I've got about an hour and a half to 2 hours before it starts to, well, poison us, I suppose. But I'm hoping I'll be all right tonight. This is the third week I will have taken this dosage. And I'm hoping that the side effects will start to ease off. Also, I have a medication called ondansetron, which is what they give to... Now, this is a scary word, but don't worry, as we know it's not that bad. They give it to chemotherapy patients for the sickness. And I can tell you, after having taken this medication once or twice, it is sensational. Absolutely outrageous. Brilliant. So I'm in good hands. Also, I am with you, which is good call. Always makes us feel better when I'm having a stream with friends. Dusan Ninic. Good evening from the city of Niš in Serbia. I bet that's not how you pronounce it, though. Nišvili. Nišvili Jazz Festival starts tonight. Ooh, do you like jazz? Let's go. Let's go indeed. Anuj Patel, quack quack. Welcome, Anuj. It was nice to talk to Anuj. I always get like withdrawal symptoms when I haven't talked to Anuj for like a few days, you know? Well, I had to text him today, ask him about something. Sebastian Furtado is here. Welcome, Sebastian. Hope you had a nice time when you were away. I see you are back. You made a video as well. Subscribe to Sebastian Furtado. An excellent addition to the com. Great voice as well. Our hopes are with you too, Duck. Quack. Thanks, man. Hey, Duck. Hello, Taffy. It was nice to see you on Eugene's stream earlier. Fernando Milan. Hi there. Hi there to you. Rachel says, Dusan, my husband loves Serbia and wants to move there and buy a castle. Lord. Hi, Taffy. Hello, Rich. Hello, Interference. Hello, A to Z. Yes, Rich, your pronunciation is correct. Well, marvellous. Thanks, Rich. It was a great trip. I am glad. hopefully the weather cools down in the northern hemisphere. It's been outrageous, but apparently there's been a lot of flooding in Kentucky, which is where I believe Hillary is from. So I hope Hillary's okay. And Kansas too. Everybody's just saying hello to each other. Yes, Eugene sent me a link. He went on Bass Notes straight after the stream, and the Deliric Excuse was on there straight away. Brian says, my forehead is a waterfall. I need a different kind of rain. Good Lord. I moisturized my face earlier just with some like aqueous cream, you know, just like standard moisturized, unscented, like no brand, like get a big tub of it for like £5. And I went outside and instantly started sweating, and then like the whiteness of the cream came up again. I looked like, I don't know what I looked like, to be fair. I looked like I'd painted my face white. I looked silly. That's what I looked like. Taffy J, hi Rachel, do you have both a skull? Any preference? I have both a skull, and my preference is a skull in Haiti. I think I like it because it's got the it's got juniper in it. Hello brother, hope all is well. Hello mate. How are you, Fragrance Journey? I am well, thank you. It's a nice cool evening. I've got the fan on, turned the air conditioner off, put the fan on. Feel pretty great. Fernando says, let me say something. I smell abstract right now. Just got me a full bottle of Kingdom by Alexander McQueen. Outrageous. Do you know what I got off someone this week? And I forget who sent us it, which is a crime, really, because they were very kind of them. I'd have to look through my emails, but I've been sent a lot of stuff in the last week. It's outrageous. I got about between a third and a quarter of a bottle of Vera Wang for men. Vera Wang for men. I've heard people like swoon over this fragrance before. I'm not sure about the top. It smells distinctly 2004, the top, you know? And I prefer the mid and the base. The mid and the base have got this lovely sandalwood tobacco thing going on. Fantastic. But the top is a little bit... You'll know what I mean when I say it smells like 2004. Let's have a look. Taffy says, yes, I have both. No, sorry. Taffy, yes, I have both a skull, says Rachel, and love both. I'd purchase Haiti first, as it's really great and can be worn anywhere. I absolutely love that stuff. I need to become more familiar with the Indonesian one. It's very comes and goes, you know. Bob says, downtown Toronto hit by large, quote, power outage. I wonder why. Maybe they've just run out of coal or gas or whatever it is that they use to power the power stations with. Maybe it's just been too hot. That's like what our situation is in Britain. They're saying if it's going to get warmer and it's going to be warmer for longer, our power grid isn't like set up for that. You know, like stuff will melt and break, and we can't have that. Taffy says juniper is the tiebreaker. Do you like juniper? I absolutely love it. Like Jossie says, just getting over a migraine from this morning, but ready for this stream. Nice. I'm glad you're feeling better. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Natalia. Scent of the Night, the different company, Une Nuit Magnétique. Never heard of it. I have heard of the different company, but not Une Nuit Magnétique. The magnetic night. Or a magnetic night. Dushan says, Rachel, it is enough for your husband to buy a house in the mountain. Old Mountain, to be precise. I have a house there and I'd like to be there for weekends. It's just 100 kilometers from Niche. Pradeep says, did you see Poivre Noir by Uncle Serge? I have. Eugene also sent a link to that. I reserve judgment. I still don't like those new bottles. You know, if that was like the bottle that had been there the whole time, I wouldn't be that bothered, but the old ones were just so nice. You know? I feel like something's been taken from us. Jossel says, Rich, I picked up Pavarotti. Oh, nice. I love Pavarotti. What a fragrance. P.O. Bengtson, I haven't seen you for a while. How are you? Rich, did you smell the new Tom Ford Extreme Parfum? No, not yet, but I intend to. I do intend to. It's not one of those things that I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I'm not really bothered whether I smell it. I do want to smell it. I'm very intrigued. I don't know if the counter has got it yet, though. Interferences, love that stuff. Rich, one of my previous signature scents. Nice. The dry down is definitely where it's at. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Pavarotti is a love, says Rachel. Yeah, it is for me. It's amazing to think that that's like a celebrity fragrance. Hi, Rachel, thanks. Good evening, brethren. Good evening. Justin, how are you? Scent of the day is Heritage. Nice. I think Justin's in the Southern Hemisphere. So he's like in winter. You're coming up to spring soon, is it? Excuse me. Just having a yawn. Ah, Fosco. Quack. Scent of the day is Guerlain Homme. Ooh. Someone was asking me about Guerlain Homme and how it compared to Roadster the other day. I was like, it doesn't really compare. I know they've both got mint, but that's like where the similarities end, really. That like Guerlain Homme's got that mojito booze kind of. It's a different fragrance completely, like. Bob's quoting The Godfather again. Theo says, Scent of the Night, Fendi Uomo. Outrageous. Great fragrance. Justin says, can't be worse than South Africa. We have rolling blackouts. Oh dear. That's not very much fun. Rachel. Pradeep says to Rachel, couldn't get a hold of a tester available online. Looks like a simple, straightforward pepper. Omar says hello. Welcome, Omar. Woof. Dushan says, smell of the night, Amouage Jubilation 25 for women. What a fragrance. Great sheep rat. Funny you mention it. I am on my left hand, excuse me, left from me right there for a second. On my left hand, I am wearing, very kindly sent to me, some vintage Jubilation 25 pre-magnetic cap. Before 2010, I think. It is. Do you know, whenever you're when I'm not on fucking live stream or I'm sending voice notes, it's a nightmare. Anyway, this Jubilation 25 is absolutely stunning. Don't think I've tried the ladies one though. Bob says, Iris Poudre again on my hand, controlling the mouse. Nice. Omar says, scent of the day, Danger PC. Yep, pretty similar to Heritage. I will test it a couple of days to see if I keep or not. I've actually got some Danger Parfum cologne, and I am very sad that I bought it. Bought it from Deva. That and Scandal, and I wish I hadn't. Shit. H2ono, what's up, man? How are you? Ah, JJ, welcome. How are you doing, JJ? Hopefully Poivre Noir is more palatable than Serge Noir. Goodness me. Have you ever tried Chypre Rouge by Serge? I remember Robes doing a video about that, saying it was just too much for him. I'm sure it was Chypre Rouge. And I remember getting a sample of it and just being frightened of it. Like one of the only fragrances I've ever been frightened of. Like Secretions Magnifique. I'm frightened of Secretions Magnifique. Do you know what I mean? Chypre Rouge pretty much terrified me. I was terrorized by it, you know? Scary. But anyhow. Leaky bottle of the day. Fantasia Fendi. Good times. Doucement Ninich. Good, thanks. What you spraying for your jazz outing? Yes, what you wearing to the jazz festival? Juby for women. Oh, of course, he's already said that. JJ says, thank goodness for abnormally slow work days. JJ, I put on Musk Kublai Khan, says Rachel, and I'm so enjoying it. I don't like Musk's Kublai Khan. I get a straight up shit note from it, you know, but like a stale shit. Like it's got. Oh, no, I would love to love it. I would love to be able to sit here and tell you that I thought it was great, and just how I love everything by Serge. And I am, like JJ says, he's a Serge fiend. I'm a Serge fiend as well. I love Serge. I got like 17, 18 bottles, different fragrances by Serge. If I see one of those old 50ml bottles, I'll just buy it. But fuck me, some of the stuff he's made is absolutely bad. It's not bad. No, bad's the wrong word. It's just too Serge. Does that make sense? You know? A little bit surgy. Oh, excuse me. Whoa. I needed to roll over there. Indeed, pretty cold right now, says Justin. Yes, it's winter down there. A to Z says Santa Maria Novellas Patchouli. Yes, I want to buy that. And it wasn't in the sample set I got, which was absolutely devastating. And Vetiver fragrances are very good. A brand that flies under the radar. Interesting. You're right, they do fly under the radar. I have got their sample set. And they only do a sample set of the eau de colognes. They don't do the eau de toilettes. And they've got like 50 odd fragrances, but they only ever, right? They only ever give out like little samples. I've got the sample set. I'm going to do a video on them because they're all very well made, you know, and they're very nice. They use good ingredients. They're very well made. They smell good, but there's none of them that I want. And I feel like I've shot the bed by buying the sample set because what's the point? It's like there's nothing there. There's the Tobacco Toscana one. Is nice and good, and I need to wear that a bit more on skin before I do the video, but I'm not too happy. I bet I'm miles behind in the comments as well. Although cold for me is like 10 Celsius, says Justin. Yeah, that's a nice warm, balmy day. I put my shorts on at 10 Celsius. I'm a proper, like, northerner. Do you know what I mean? Interference is scent of the day, Malto, Smalto, love it. Had the bottle for a while, but really enjoying it lately. Another amazing dry down with lavender. I really love that stuff. Good evening, Christoph. How are you? A to Z says, JJ, the store in Firenze is incredible. Bob's already saying good night to Richie G's trying to ring us. Sorry, Richie G, I can't answer, mate. I'm streaming. Rachel, I have the Melograno shaving balm. It's very nice. Outrageous. Rachel loves Santa Maria Novella. They have a classic car scent I love, as well as a pomegranate. I can't remember which ones. I'll get up in a minute and have a look. Pradeep, it's like butter on a lady's bare shoulders. Bare shoulders, eh? I see. You're going to see a bare ass. Rachel says, does anyone know if the formulation for Musk's Kublai Khan has changed much over the years? Is the current bottle decent? What do you think, JJ? I want to buy it. I think, and then I can replace your decant. Is Surge Santal Mysore any good? Yes, but spicy. It's got, I think it's cumin. Just beware, it's warm spicy. Right, welcome. Interferences, my work days start slowing down as soon as duck hits start. Lol. Scent of the day was New York Intense. Oh, well, nobody's perfect, Brian. Dusan says, Rachel, about Italian fragrances. Have you tried Tobacco del Torre from Farmacia SS Annunziata? Dear me, how have I pronounced that? Well done. Omar says, I think maybe I will stop testing vintages. A few of them give me tongue numbness. A bummer. Yeah, my friend gets tongue numbness from some fragrances as well. That's a strange one. Is that not alcohol, though? Christoph says, my roommate went with Herba Pura by Zerzhov today. Oh, condolences. I'm contemplating moving out. I'm not surprised. Interferences over Serge. JJ has a great funny video today. I've seen bits of it. Well, I've seen a bit of it. Like the first third, I want to say. Dushan, no, but I'll write them on a list to try, says Rachel. JJ says, Rachel, good question. I foolishly put off buying a full bottle of MKK until it was too late to get a classic 50 ml. And now I'm not so sure about the extent of differences besides hearsay. Fosco says, Sant Alda Mysore does have a curry-like feel, but it's so damn good. Yeah, so Christopher Sheldrake knows what he's doing with sandalwood. I would be very surprised if there was real Mysore in it, though. I mean, there might be. Could be. Maybe the original one was. But that shit's like hen's teeth now. You just can't find it. Real sandalwood. Mysore sandalwood, I beg your pardon. Bryce says, Musk's Kublai Khan is menacing. I'm scared to ever try it. Is it more shit in it than the night? No. The night is more overtly shitty. Whereas Musk's Kublai Khan is like musky and like kind of like furry underbelly, right? But then about half an hour to an hour in, the mid, right, you start to get this waft of like stale shit. And I'm like, oh no. Don't like that. Indecence. How are you? Interference says, Tobacco Toscano is still my best Santa Maria Novella. I need to test it properly on skin. I might do a video on them, some of the samples. I've got like 3 samples. I've got an Affinescence sample set. I've got an Etat Libre d'Orange sample set, which has got 20 fragrances in. So I'm thinking of doing another zoologist type series on it. And the other one I've got is the one we've just been talking about, Santa Maria Novella. I beg your pardon. Brian says, yesterday I tried Chanel 31 Rue Cambon again. People hate on the ADP, but it was pretty epic and high heat. Yeah, it's strange. If you wear perfumes out of what you would normally like think is like their season. I did this with Cherguet and found it to be an amazing high heat fragrance. I might wear Cherguet tomorrow, actually. People say Cherguet's a tobacco, but for me it's an iris. It's an interesting fragrance. You wear that out of season and see what happens. It's the mark of a really good scent, actually, if you can just wear it whenever and it still smells good. JJ, I love living right on the red line with my college mates in 99. Great time. Heard great things about that one, Interference. I will test it, says Pradeep. Them bell jars are pricey. Good lord, are they not? When you get a bell jar, right, do they come with a decanter, like a spray, or do you like have to like dab them on? Fosco makes the point that Serge Lutens have 25% off sale sometimes. Rich, answer the phone. Call him back. No, I won't. Richie J will have to sit and talk to his wife tonight. Poor Laura. The cat that is in the thumbnail actually belongs to Richie J and his wife. It is their child. Antonio Hobson says, well, what's up, all? Scent of the day, Sheep Napolitan. Carl Anderson, hello. Scent of the day, Amber Pour Homme. I love that. I love that. A little bit warm here for that at the minute, but I love that stuff. Germ says, hey there, Rich. Scent of the day, Comme des Garçons Black. I've got a sample of that. Bry sent it. Dushan says, yesterday I bought Mitsuko, batch from 2013. Tomorrow it will be at my address. We'll see how good it is. I have got a vintage Mitsuko. It's from the early 90s, I want to say. It's in one of these crazy turret-shaped bottles, I beg your pardon. Antonio says, going to a wedding Saturday. Any suggestions? Ooh, Dior Homme. Green Irish tweed. Something classy. "31 is a masterclass," says Bob. Jossie says, isn't Comme des Garçons an incense? Comme des Garçons Black an incense? I think it is. Loads of those Comme des Garçons are incense. Hi, Rich. It's Rabbit. Did you get the Rogers? No. I've got 2 Rogers, which I don't want. How are you, Rabbit? I hope you're well. But no, I didn't get any Rogers. I've got 2. Scandal Parfum Cologne and Danger Parfum Cologne. Both not great, in my opinion. Pradeep says, why is Sheldrake not credited the last few years? I don't know that he's the only person who makes them for him anymore. Sheldrake is employed by Chanel now as their master of ingredients. And I don't know if there's any sort of contract or exclusivity clause or anything like that. So I know Maurice Roussel made a perfume for him a while ago. Drawn by Scents, welcome. Dushan says, Antonio, you are the winner of the day. Sheep Napolitan, Zuchafor's masterpiece. Zuchafor's got a few masterpieces, surely. I really like Jubilation 25. That's a Duchafor as well. Oh, what a fragrance. Chelsea says, JJ, I never really picked out licorice, but you're right. Peter is here. Peter from Fragrance View. How are you, Fragrance View? Fosco says, Rich did a great review on Shirgi. Thank you, Fosco. I need to start doing reviews again. It's been a while. Rachel says, bell jars are dabbed only, no sprayer. Drawn by Senses, cooking here in the overbaked UK. Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. We need some good old-fashioned British rain. Bryce says, Comme des Garçons Black is spectacular. Jossie, Rich, do you get talcum powder and Pavarotti Not that I remember, although it does have this kind of cleanly sort of freshness. You know, there's no animalic sort of stuff going on there. It is clean and fresh. Drawn by Scent says, Rich, could we have snowflakes instead of bubbles? If I could get you snowflakes, I would. Unfortunately, I cannot. Rachel says, since they are annoying Dellas, I decant my bell jars into sprayers. I must admit, that's what I would do. Carl says, was there not one mise en scène you enjoyed? Carl, honestly, mate, there really wasn't. I thought they were all really quite bad. Alberto Marias is just dialing it in at the minute. He must be making a fucking fortune, the amount of stuff that he gets commissioned to do. But it does feel like he doesn't concentrate on his fragrances anymore. He just sort of, everything feels very from the same well, you know? So, it's not ideal. Fosco says, I like to wear vetiver when I wear a suit for some reason. Yeah, it goes really well. Dushan says, while I'm drinking my coffee tonight, my first thought is kerosene follow. Is there a better coffee fragrance? I don't know about better. There are other coffee fragrances. Awake by Acro is quite good. I like Pure Coffee by Mugler, but it's not. I mean, it's not on the let. It's an amen, so it's amen with coffee, extra coffee, like a big coffee note. But it's not like on the same level as like kerosene and follow. That's not what I'm sort of saying, but I do like it. Wedding scent, Pavarotti or Polo Green? Or if a night wedding, Safari. Brian says, I personally like Acro Awake a bit more, but they're very similar. Kerosene Follow is the best coffee scent I've found, says Rachel. Smoke C says, what's up, Rich? What's up, Smoke C? You've changed your little avatar, I think. Have you not? Rachel says, what about Maurice Roussel? Maurice Roussel did a Serge Luton, and I can't remember which one it was. But he's done a Serge Luton before. Maurice Roussel, definitely. And New says, damn, I'm going to a wedding tomorrow as well. I'm going to wear Balenciaga Pour Homme in honor of the man. Rich Mitch, you are too kind, Anuj. Salute. Balenciaga Pour Homme is immense. AA says, good evening, Rich. Good evening, AA. Scent of the Days, Eau de Calambac. I've never heard of that. What's it like? Rabbit says, come on, keep the side up. Wear Patou tomorrow and I'll have 4 sprays. Fosco says, I hate follow. Smells like a cheap Starbucks latte to me. Spray some latte on you? When it's cooled down, obviously. Oh, excuse me. Welcome, Micah. Scent of the Day is Gypsy Water by Byredo. Byredo's apparently just been sold for $1 billion, which is very hard to accept, but apparently it's true. Fosco. That's got to be a coffee scent out there for you. Have you tried Encens Suave? I tried Encens Suave. Did I try Encens Suave? Is that the Matière Première? I tried the Encens by them, the incense by them, and I thought it was all right. Not huge on it though. Rachel, I agree with you, says Dusan. Follow is a great coffee. Woof. Excuse me whilst I yawn. After much stream chatter, I have concluded that my Shergi is the same as yours. Depends what the bottle is. JJ says, I have difficult time getting into coffee notes in fragrance. I prefer it more as a supporting note than the centerpiece. It's very... The thing with a coffee note is it's very... It's got, like, multiple facets, but it's not... It's not, like, the most complex of notes. But it's very... It's not abrasive. What is it? What is it when something cleans something? I can't think of the word. It's got this kind of like astringent, that's the word. It's got a very like kind of like an astringent sort of quality to it. Coffee, I find, in fragrances. Fosco says, Rachel, I have not. I even tried Little Song by Mefficini, who I love, but I didn't get the coffee in it. I think I'm with JJ. Bob says, you want to smell like coffee? Spill it all over yourself. Smoke C says, best coffee fragrance to me is Velvet Rouge. Jossie says, Anuj, do you have any Egoist by any chance? Pradeep says, tried Amber Kiso and was impressed. It's only at retail here for €230, but $150 in the US. Lol. Fosco, what do you think about Intoxicated by Killian, says Dushan. Does it remind you of Cafe Latte from Starbucks? Iris Silver Mist, says Pradeep. Yeah, I love that. I'd love a bottle of that. I would love a bottle of Iris Silver Mist. Fosco says, Dushan, I actually really like that one. Reminds me of an improved Amen, but I don't get a ton of coffee in it. I'd like to get Santa Maria Novella Golden Musk, says Drawn by Sense. Gotta get over to London sometime and try it again. Yes, that's right, they do. They do have a shop in London. But my sample set came from Italy, which was a bit of a kick. Peter Kokorin says, Byredo sold to L'Oreal. Yuck. Yes, yuck. For $1 billion as well, you know. Crazy. Brian says, a coffee that non-coffee lovers appreciate could be 8 and Bob, Noida Megave. I can't take 8 and Bob seriously. I know it's terrible of us. I should. But I mean, that fucking backstory is just absolutely rotten. Rotten. I ain't believing that shit. That's mad. I remember when the bloke was explaining it to us, I was like, oh, that's amazing. And then obviously, like, you get more experienced in the ways of, like, marketing, and obviously Creed, like, just, like, you can't believe anything anyone says now because of Olivia Creed. You know what I mean? He's poisoned the well. So, a coffee for non-coffee lovers, though. That sounds interesting. JJ says, not to stir the pot. Sorry, don't worry about that. You can stir the pot as much as you like. I was told more than once that Mathieu was a major shill brand. Yes, he sent out a shitload of free stuff to a shitload of free people. You know what I mean? A shitload of free people? He just sent out a shitload of stuff to like free to people. Always a massive red flag for me, that. So that turned me off from exploring it. Yeah. I don't like to reward that behavior. I agree with you there. You start seeing free bottles appear and stuff, and it's just like, you know what I mean? We've all heard what Ashton says. I mean, Ashton's right. You say anything, you get free bottles, and you don't play the game, you don't get any more free bottles. So you are, and the fact is that all these people who get free bottles never put in their videos includes paid promotion, which is exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. It's negligence at best. Anyhow, Jossie, I don't think Byredo can get much lower, but I think they'll find a way. Byredo is just supermarket duty-free vibes. They're bad. Rachel says, what does major shill brand mean? Do you know what a shill is? Nuida Magiv is similar to Vetiver Tonka and Baldafric. I love Vetiver Tonka. Vetiver Tonka is an all-year-round fragrance for me as well. Maybe not the highest of high heat or the coldest of cold weather, but still, you know. Brian says it is, JJ, but it's also good and high quality. Respectable perfumer, grows own ingredients, are sure. Long lineage, etc. It's not one of those fake pop-up brands. Ah. I smelled Falcon leather in series. It's one of the worst leather fragrances. One of the worst fragrances I've smelled in a long time. I really dislike Falcon leather. It's a bad fragrance. The incense one's not bad. I've tried a few of them, not loads of them, because every time I go to try them, like a sales associate appears, and I'm like, oh, just fuck off. What's up, Peter OG Whackpacker says H2O now. That's right. Peter's been around for years. Peter knows the score. JJ says to Rachel, the brand that would reach out to influencers, etc., and offer free bottles in turn for favorable reviews. It's all conjecture, so I don't know if it's a fact. He's definitely sent out a lot of free stuff. Aurelian, oh fuck me, what's he called? The perfumer. Is it Aurelian? Someone remind us. I'm sure it's Aurelian. Who knows? Eau de Calombac is an oud fragrance from the private line of Chapard. A bit gourmandy, bit airy, bit fresh. Got it today, so I need to learn to know it better. First impression is good. I know that Early Greek likes his Chapards at the minute. Especially that oud line. I like having coffee with my fragrance rather than wearing it, says Fosco. Ooh. Brian, that was more my impression, but yes, I totally see it happening. The free bottles and influencer marketing. Yeah, PR lists. Rate lists. Rate lists. That's a particular evil that needs stamping out. What's your rate lists? Awful. You're not a reviewer at that point. You're an infomercial presenter. Got a few so coffee fragrances, but my favorite of them is cardamom coffee. That by Lush. Richie J got a bottle of that, and it was really nice. Like, no, he didn't. He didn't get a bottle of that. He got a hard perfume. What are they called? Do you know the oh fuck me, man. They come in like a little compact, you know? Like a solid perfume. That's what it was. It was really nice, to be fair. Interference says, Anuja, are you still around? Hopefully. I say that even though Gypsy Water was the first niche I smelled, and it's nostalgic, says Josie. JJ and Brian, says Rachel. I completely see both of those things being true at the same time about Mathieu. Interference says, hey, Anuj, weird question. Where do you get those bubble bags with the self-seal? I imagine it's like a Costco thing, surely. Turkish coffee is delicious, says Fosco. I've heard that before. I don't drink coffee because it has certain effects upon us. Which I don't really want to talk about on a live stream, but they're gross. It just gives you the shits, I think. It's just a huge laxative, like. And immediately after saying I didn't want to talk about it, I literally did. Anyway, A to Z says a commentator on Fragrantica has said that Santa Maria Novella has been sold to a private equity company and there have been major reformulations. Don't know about that, but if I was going to buy anything from Santa Maria Novella, I would like to try and get as old a bottle as possible because I know they've been around for a while. And there is a nasty trend of patchouli heavy fragrances using this cheap, shitty patchouli these days. And I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. 8 and Bob's backstory is the Dua version to the Creed backstory. Yes, Brian. Quite right. I wish you'd stop making videos again, Brian. Brian, you did make videos, didn't you? I'm not just making that up, am I? Oops. Where am I? Jesus, I'm fucking miles behind. Powerful thought. I can't take 8 and Bob seriously either. Like a total Creed bullshit. I refuse to even try them. Yeah, I don't want to reward that shit. Lol says a news from various places. You can get them from any large packaging supply stores. I got mine from a local company called Ulene. 8 and Bob just sounds like a toy shop name. Yeah. Enrique Vasquez says, hi, Rich, has the Premier League season started? It has started last week. Newcastle started off with a win. Dushan says, Fosco, Turkish coffee is a common drink in Serbia. Interferences are cool. I get supplies from Ulene all the time. Thanks, bud. Your videos always make me want to brew a cup, says Fosco to Bob. Interferences, I'm compiling a list to send to you soon, Anush. Just trying to recover a bit. Trying to get your wallet to recover a bit. It's very easy to spend a lot of money with Anush, isn't it? I've got some incredible stuff. Get the Teatro alla Scala. What a fragrance that is, by the way. How does everyone feel about our US grown Kona bean? I don't know what that is. Pradeep says Sebastian just straight up getting entire lines sent to him recently. Doesn't say that most times. I hope he is honest at least. I think Sebastian's honest. It doesn't surprise us that he gets entire lines sent to him, because of the amount of subscribers and the amount of influence he has. You know, he's still got credibility, Sebastian. I know he's heavily into his fragrances as well. Like, he genuinely loves his fragrances. I don't doubt that for a second. You know, I don't think Sebastian's lost the love. You know, he's not just doing it for money. I genuinely believe that. Oh, goodness gracious. I'll turn over once again. I'm like a pancake. Oh, apparently a field's on fire. Near me somewhere. Sorry for not responding, says Antonio. My wife had to tell me something. Thank you for the wedding fragrance tips. No problem. Similar to Tonka Bean. Brian says, for Matcha Premier, try Radical Rose. I have tried it. I wasn't impressed. It's propped up by a lot of synthetics, in my opinion. It rivals Portrait of a Lady. Portrait of a Lady has a hell of a lot of either ISO-E Super or ISO-E Gamma, something along those lines, you know. Portrait of a Lady's got a big amount of that stuff in it. Apparently that's been added as some rose has been taken away. Somebody who had an original formulation once told me. Anyhow. A to Z says, check out Polita's comment on the Fragrantica Lirice review. They've been sold. That Lirice is nice. I got a sample of it free with the Oh, the sample set. It's a floral iris, if you can imagine such a thing. A floral iris. It smells floral. It's a little bit floral for me. If you like florals and you like iris, I think you'll really like it. It's very high quality. Of that, there is no doubt. Do I like it? Not, if I'm being honest. Alan Hansen says, oh, welcome, Alan Hansen. Disclosing and announcing that you've received gratis bottles of perfume does not prove that opinions are not influenced. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, if you're receiving, my personal opinion, if you are receiving free bottles of perfume, you are producing an infomercial, not a review. In my opinion, that is just, I will never take free bottles and review them. No, straight. That's a very strange thing. I only took a free bottle from Eugene because he's my mate, one of my best mates, and he's made a perfume, and he wanted to give us one, because we'd been talking about, and I'd gone through the journey with him and everything like that. But again, I've recused myself from talking about it because too close, and I got the bottle for free. I told you, Eugene, about this. We've discussed this a long time on this channel. I've just told people about it. I won't be talking about it because, and I told Eugene months before he ever sent us it, before it was finished, I was like, look, if you send us free bottles, I'm not going to talk about it. But I very much appreciate it. And love them for sending us it, because it's different reason, you know. Like, went through the process. I was there with him while he went through it. The name Le Douleur Exquise, I came up with that one. There are other ones which I won't go into. I think Guerlain and Thomas helped come up with those. That Le Douleur Exquise was just, if you look more and more into the name, it's very, very apparent in like lots of vintage French literature. It's like an important saying in like French literature. It just fit perfectly. Like, anyhow, stop blowing me own horn. JJ says there's nothing sacred. So many of those old world creations will surely be slaughtered in the wrong hands. Rachel says, Brian, I agree about Radical Rose. The ones that hit are great. Several are boring as shit. And it's Aurelian Guichard. Well said. Thank you. Jossie says, Les Indomitable sample set is prime. Oh, it's fabulous. Carl says, just ordered the Les Indomitable sample set and asked for the colognes too. Good man. It's a fantastic sample set, to be fair. We Japanese are coffee lightweights, not too strong. Tim Hortons fine with me, says Bob. Aurelian Guichard liked his Casbah, though. Sean, welcome, sir. A to Z says, JJ, they'll be in TK Maxx next. The pharmacy will have a Starbucks. Omar says, I'm the only one who loves to have the scent of the day over the desk while working the full day. I don't know. Bob, are you from Tokyo? Says Dushan. Anuj says, interference, if you need some of those little bubble wraps, just email WhatsApp me. I can spare some and send you a quick parcel, no problem. Lovely, Anuj. Alan says, I have all 4 from the Chopard Garden of Kings Oud series. Great stuff. And a 5th one for that series is due any day now. Bois Nomads. A Chopard, now that's a nice dress watch. I want a Roadster. I want a Roadster by Cartier. I want that. I want a vintage Roadster watch. I don't even... I'm happy to get one second hand, like. Excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. Give us 2 minutes. Oof. Once again, friends, I have returned. Ooh! Ooh! Don't destroy the room, Richard. Excuse me whilst I close my curtains. My neighbour's dog has made an appearance. Welcome. A good girl. A blonde lab. Ooh! Right, I'm back. So, let's get on to these commenters. Oh dear, I've... So, where were we? H2O, I want to climb on Fujiyama. Would you like to go there? Rachel says, in my honest opinion, disclosing gifted bottle is good enough for me, as one can generally tell enough of a reviewer's taste and character to be able to judge one's self-trust level in that case. Yes, make your own mind up. I'm just espousing my opinion. Definitely make your own mind up. Don't just listen. I mean, but if you want my opinion, I'll tell you it, but you don't necessarily have to listen to it. It's just my opinion. It's just one duck's opinion, you know what I mean? Omar says, just got 2 packages 1 minute ago. Just the one. Bloody hell. Hermes Rouge reminds me a little bit of Chamard Woman and number 18. Yes, medicinal opening. Let's see how it develops. Hi, Ducky. Hello, Carl, mate. How are you doing? I watched Carl's review of... Well, was it a review? Was a review. His review of the opium EDT. EDT? It was the EDT. I don't care for the EDT. I much prefer the EDP. I think the EDP structure suits the fragrance a lot better. You get that with the diptyques as well. They do an EDT and an EDP of their fragrances. And sometimes the EDT suits the fragrance, and sometimes the EDP suits the fragrance. I've got a couple of vintage ones. You ever smelled the vintage EDP, Carl? I'll send you some if you want, man. JJ says, I did read Palida's review. I so hope it isn't happening. I hope it's not happening as well. Buy those vintage Santa Maria Novella if you can. Brian says, I made videos for about half a year. I quit and removed everything the day I got to 1,000 subs. I've just got to 1,200 subs. Massive. I'm happy. I'm happy at 1,200. Like, if I didn't make... I'm really, like I said on the last stream, like, I'm really happy with, like, the people. If I've never got, like, an extra person. I mean, I'm grateful for everybody else who subscribes. As long as they bring stuff to the little community we've got. I think I've got a really good little, like, blend of people, you know? There's no dickheads in here. Bob says, yes, Deuce. Come fly into the islands and we'll discuss it over the tastiest Mai Tai. Interference is a news, dude. You're a treasure of the community and thanks for offering. I'm good though and okay to purchase some for pack and selling my movie collection. Outrageous. Enrique says, can you do a video on your favorite patchouli perfumes for the patch hose? Enrique, I'm well ahead of you, mate. If you search Rich Mitch Patchouli, you will come across 10 patchoulis I love. I've done that video. I could do another one. I've got another 10. Easy. Drawn by Sense says, hello, Carl. Hope you are keeping cool in this never-ending heat. Nah. Us balds, we've got to look after ourselves, haven't we, Carl? Got an exposed head. Can't wait to hear what you think of Evanescence. Have a bottle of Musk Ambergris like Cuirass Curcuma. It is a strange one to say that. I've got to be honest, if you want a little spoiler, I was not impressed with any of them the first time I smelled them. Now, I've only smelled them once and on sticks. So I need to go back through them and smell them all again. But say if I was doing my first impression videos, I still haven't decided how I'm going to do them now. Because I'm changing them up how I do them. But the first time I smelled them on sticks at my friend's house, me and her smelling them, I was like, what? I was expecting a lot more than what I got, put it like that. Brian says, way more brands send out stuff than people realize too, including respectable ones. Yeah, I agree. It's a menace, frankly. If you take what your favorite reviewers say seriously and you want to make an informed decision on your money, like that you're spending your money on a perfume, think of it this way. This is the way I think of it. Why should I fucking pay for that fragrance when they didn't? It's as simple as that. Send me a free bottle. Not me personally, but you know, like if I was a consumer, all right, you're going to give free bottles to everybody who watches the video? No, you're not. Because that's what's happening. It's marketing. Ryan says, Affinescence, Les and Demodable via PR stores, Hubergant, you name it, all of the brands I hear good things about, all send out free bottles. I don't think that Les and Demodable send them out via PR stores. I don't think Les and Demodable do. I might be wrong, but I don't think they do. I've heard to the contrary. Put it like that. I love a Pacho video. I've got one. Christoph Claus, good evening, Squire. How are you? Scent of the day, Girl on Lidge. New bottle arrived today. I've got the vintage original one. I can send you some of that as well, Carl. Christoph just says, just looked at the new Argos scent is on pre-sale. That's a brand, isn't it? Argos. In England, we have a department store type thing called Argos. It may have a lot of sense, but Radical Rose is 3 times the amount of natural rose of the Les and Demodable rose, I believe. Bloody hell. Brian. Yikes. It does smell very rosy, I'll give you that. It'll be extremely expensive. It would be extremely expensive if it was. I don't know how much Radical Rose is, but it would be very expensive. Pat Lester says, hello, Rich. What's the scent of the day? Hello, Pat. My scent of the day is Loewe Pour Homme. Mine is Louder for Men. Beautiful, Pat. And it's absolutely beautiful. You're not wrong. I'd really like to get my nose on the vintage version for sure. Pat, are you in England? Or Britain, I should say. The UK. Because I can send you a little bit if you want. It's an absolute fucking nightmare to decant, though. It's an absolute pig. Because the spray is one of those, like, it's a you know the sprays where it comes out almost horizontally. It's like that. It's a fucking nightmare to decant. JJ says, Pat, if you have a green cap louder, it's not like the same as the gold cap, so you're good as gold. I've got that. I mean, Thomas said that the modern one's as good as the old one. I've got a gold cap and a green cap with the gold on the top. Yeah. But we still expect a duck review of La Deliric Squeeze, says Brian. It will not happen. It will never happen. Sorry. Interference says, no need for an explanation at all, Doug. I think we all understand. Even if you ever do talk about it, your best mates. Yeah. Yeah. I will talk about it, but it'll be very matter of fact because after September, I'll be able to start wearing it. I have decided to put La Deliric Squee in my autumn and winter rotation. So you will start seeing it in scent of the like fragrance rotation videos on a Sunday. And basically when I discuss it, I'm just gonna be matter of fact, discuss the notes, discuss the weather that I wore it in, the context and stuff like that. Yeah. No, not vintage Jossie mouthwash bottle. Not the newest bottle though, in the Ideal one. I fucking hate that. Can't watch for the North American launch. Can't wait. Funny enough, once you get all of the free bottles, it changes back. Yes, a lot of free bottles, it changes back. Yeah. I got 200 in less than 2 years. I couldn't care less about brands stopping working with me. I've had plenty of negative reviews, says Brian. Has Eugene sent you the t-shirts yet, though, Rich? I don't think I would fit in any of the t-shirts he would get made. I'm a big unit. Well, it's your friend. It's not free. It's because of your friendship. It is free. It's... I'm not comfortable talking about it. I would feel like a hypocrite. And I don't want to be. I won't make a liar of myself. I won't have anyone make a liar of us, or I certainly wouldn't do that after everything I've said over the years. I do feel like it would be wrong. And people would have every right to be pissed if I did then turn around and just go against everything. Eugene disagrees with us. Eugene says, like, if you get sent free shit, then there's no reason you shouldn't talk about it. Everyone knows that you'd be honest. And I would. If anything, I would be more... If I got free stuff, I'd be more inclined to say it was shite. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want to do that either. I'm happy to talk about stuff I spend my own money on. Because one of the reasons I don't like free stuff is because when you're talking about a £500 fragrance, a £300 fragrance, or £200 fragrance, or £1,000 fragrance, it's very easy for you to say somebody else should buy it when you got it for fucking free. You are very, very, very easily... It's very easy for you to suggest to spend other people's money. You know? You'll never run out of other people's money. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I do realise this goes against 99 or 95% of what other people think, but it's not. It's the way I think. Paid partnership with his toilet brand. I went for a slash. Oh, the shite. It wasn't a shite. This is one of the cutest poopy emojis. Oh, the shit is a hit. That was a number 1, too fast for number 2. That's right, JJ. Good eye. He's got a good eye for these things, as JJ knows what he's talking about. Is there still a sheep in your neighbour's garden? No, it died. It died and got taken away. Bless it. Poor thing. It was laden with wool as well. I think it might have been the heat that killed it, because they didn't shave it, the lazy shits. But it is now dead, unfortunately. Fragrance of the moment, bubbles without tone. Says Dushan, spaced out, welcome. I've been ordering samples like crazy recently. Yes, I've gone into a bit of a thing with samples. Just ordered Guerlain Bois d'Harmonie. Those notes look like something I will fall in love with. Peter says Bois d'Harmonie is a good one. And it must be a good one if Peter says it is. Frag Guy says, no, not tried the EDP at all. The EDT used to be the great stuff, but the new stuff is much weaker now. Frag Guy, call. Remember all these things I'm saying I'll send to you. Send us an email. Reminders, and I'll send you them, mate. I'll think of a few other things. I'll send you a sample of Eugene's fragrance as well if you want. I've gone through nearly a bottle and a half, and I've never actually worn it myself. I've tried it on skin, obviously. But, yes. Josie says, Bois d'Harmonie has had my attention for a while. Haven't tried it yet. Excuse me. Woof. Spaced Out says, Angelique Noir and Rose Barbar are like the last of the art and material line that I didn't try that I am interested in. Tonka Imperial doesn't suit me. Too sweet and almondy. I've got Fève de la Suisse and Pure Tonka. I'm called a charlatan, but I think I prefer Pure Tonka. I think it's just I just love that Amen DNA. As Dave and Jay used to laugh about calling it DNA. But I love that shit. Peter says I'm not really down with Guerlain anymore. The past few releases have been truly dire. Well, they've gone to Delphine Jelk. And there's nothing you can say. There's a correlation between the fact that she's making most of the perfumes now and the fact that the last few releases have been shit. Whether she's working to a different brief, or whether she just doesn't have it, or whatever it is, it's not great, is it? Pradeep says Cuir Beluga is too popular in France. JJ says to JJ, oof, how did I miss that? Long day at work. Yeah, it's been a long day today. We're nearly over the worst of it. Get to Friday, and then you're flying. Antonio says, that's why I love the duck. This is why we're here. Thank you, Antonio. I've yet to try that one spaced out, says to Dushan. That and Rose Barbara are the only ones I still didn't try. They're the ones I did. Angie Black and Cuir Beluga are absolutely shite, says Bob. I will buy your bottles, though. That's kind of you. Bob says they're shite, but he'll still take your bottles off you because he doesn't want you to suffer, you know. Brian says, I have a free Les Indomitable via an agency, not via them directly. That's interesting. So did the brand know that did Les Indomitable know that these bottles were being sent out for free? Shiva Vareen, welcome. Hello, everyone. I just clicked on it, and I agree, Rich. There are people promoters hijacking the station of a reviewer. Scent of the day, not a number 3 by Mayo Fashini. Fantastic. Do you know, every time I hear Mayo Fashini, I think of Fragrance Journey. And I've never tried any other fragrances, and I would like to. JJ says, A to Z, I looked again at Polida's review. I think he edited it. That isn't there. Here I am thinking I just had brain fog. Bob says, that was extreme sarcasm. I am on the mad hunt for those in the old presentation. I'm done with this game. Cuir Beluga was massive in France, says FCM. I'm now seeing where this comes from. Now smell this, says JJ. Pradeep says, Bobby, where have I heard that before? Pat Lester says, I live in the States, but thanks for the consideration. Pass. Have you tried Loewe's Essentia Pour Homme EDP? Not the EDP, but I've got Essentia. It's beautiful. I think, if I'm not mistaken, JJ Colburn did a video on Essentia. And it was good. It was comparing a new and an old version. How's the newer Jules? So Scentland loved it, says Fosco. So I've got 2 bottles of the vintage and I fucking love it. It's musky. It's a little bit green. It's fantastic. It's got some galbanum. It's just brilliant. The new one struck me as very harshly green, very bitter, sour, almost as if you put some evergreen leaves, pines in your mouth. It was rough. I wasn't a big fan of the new one. In fact, I gave it to Richie G, who promptly fucking loved it. But you would do, because he got it for free. Do you know what I mean? This is what happens with free bottles. You tend to love all the stuff you get for free, don't you? Anyhow, that was sly. Anyhow, so I'm not a big fan of the newer one, if you're asking my opinion, but if you like that kind of fragrance, there's a good chance you'll like it. Apparently it was made for the Russian market, and it does have a kind of Russian smell to it. I see a couple of Macari, Bob. Maybe a little high right now, but keep an eye on it. Might come down or get deals, says Floral Notes. Welcome, Lily. I can wear and enjoy Angie Black for 100 hours straight. Good Lord. JJ says, New Jules comes with my recommendation. Very green. Very green. Lil, I followed up on your eBay suggestion 3 weeks ago and I made some bids. I've been watching. Bob lurking in the shadows. JJ says, New Jules comes with my recommendation. Try it. It's a very good price. I think I paid like 50 or 60 quid for my bottle. It was brilliant. I received my flacon of Chypre Palatin today, the most beautiful backup bottle I will ever buy. Outrageous. Enrique says, how would you classify Eugene's perfume? Classic, modern, or modern classic? Maybe modern classic? I don't know. Brian says, how about just not saying anyone should buy it anyway? It's a good point. Don't buy it. Just don't buy anything, ever. That's all I needed to hear. JJ says, Fosco. Just share your thoughts and tell people to try it themselves. Nah, I'm just not going to talk about it. Vosco, something about the way that galbanum and jasmine is turned up in the mix that makes it prefer it a bit to the original. Do you really, JJ? Outrageous. I might ask for it back off Richie G, and so I can do a comparison video. I'm not like that kind of, I'm not that kind of person. I don't just ask for gifts back. Do you know what I mean? But a comparison wouldn't be bad. A comparison video would not be bad, because it's quite hard to get, isn't it? I had to get mine from France. There's a website called My Origins with an E, Origins. And that's where I got mine from, and it was not expensive. Anyway. A to Z says, you could have said it had gone to live on a farm run by hippies, Rich. I want to get my nose on Rose McCree. Never heard of it interference. No, I have heard of it interference, of course I have. Shiva says, yes, I have a bottle with a black bust and now the square flacon with the metal inlay. It's absolutely art. It's going in my living room. Outrageous. Fosco says, don't blame it on her. Vasa was doing the same crap for the past 10 years. Not a bad point. He's been releasing some shit as well. I would like to... The thing is with Vasa is that I know he's capable of better. With Delphine Jelk, I'm not aware of her creating anything so outrageous that I would, like, remember her for it. Does that make sense? I'll be going to heaven with just Tonka Imperial, Clear Beluga, and Angelique Noir in my suitcase. Can't take your perfume with you. Although I will be buried with a bottle of Balenciaga Pour On. Actually, no. I just thought I got a pang there. No, I can't do that. I'll be sprayed with Balenciaga Pour On when I die. That'll do. Every other day is Friday and the rest are Sundays, says Shiva. I hate Sundays. Mine's not completely orange, but not light either. What, your complexion? Rachel says, so, all clear to try new jewels. Knock yourself out. Mine's from 2018, quite dark, to be honest. Came that way, Rachel K. You are absolutely right. Where's the batch code? FCM. Everyone's talking about Chipropolitan. Well, duty calls, time to get money. Goodbye, FCM. Spaced out. Rich, what are your top 3 Tom Ford private blends? I think mine are Noir de Noir, Neroli Portofino, and Oud Wood. NP is so good. Neroli Portofino is so good for hot summer days. It has grown on me a lot. So my top 3. Fuck me, I think I've only got 3. So I've got Beau de Jour. Tobacco Oud's my favourite by far. I've got Tuscan Leather. And I think that's it. Well, that was easy. I've actually got the private brand. I got a decanter. I got one of them big decanters of Beau de Jour, the original formulation. It's sensational. I've come to the realization the patchouli in it is so big that I think I'm going to wear it in the autumn. I don't think you can wear it in the cinema. I don't think you can wear it in the summer. You can wear it in the cinema if you like, but not in the summer. Not in the cinema in the summer. Yes, so far I do. Was expecting a deeper green, but today is my first sample of new bottles, so we shall see with time, says Rachel. Richard, videotape your seasonal changeover. That is something I have thought about, Bob. That video will be massive. I might live stream it. But it's not it's a messy process and it takes like 2 to 3 hours. It's a fucking hell of a mission, that. I won't lie. It's a hell of a mission. You know? What is the best aftershave? I don't know. Spaced Out says, so I suppose Rich doesn't like Santal Royale, correct? Oud Essential, correct? And the rest of the Oriental line, correct? Apart from Encens Mythique, which is absolutely spectacular. Ah, yeah, he says, boss, go. Hey, to Z, I got a Jazz Prestige aftershave from Manouche, highly recommended. Ah, the Jazz Prestige, I wore that last week. I think it was fucking great. Penhaligon Sartorial. You could get to back by Moira and Verts or 4711. Oh, Peter Kokorin. Peter Kokorin, you have sent me a message. You lovely man. I see what you've sent us. I didn't know you were into that type of thing, though, Peter. Mr. Kokorin. Good evening, Manly Sense. How are you? Bob says he wore live jazz last week. Yeah, it's fantastic. JJ says I'll be on Smelly Stream in approximately 20 minutes. So 10 o'clock. I don't know what time that is your time, though. I don't know how long I've been on. I might only go for another 5 minutes. Or I might go until I've been on for 2 hours. That's usually what I'd do. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's cool. You can go where you like. Oh, dear. I use tobacco shave soap. Glorious. I'll vote for Irish Mosh. Ah, Irish Mosh is fucking great. I've got the eau de toilette and the aftershave. I don't wet shave, though. I only do... Excuse me. Sorry. I only do... I do like a bare blade with a... Not a bare blade. Like a beard trimmer sort of thing. So I never like shave down to the skin. It just fucking irritates. Bariatrion. Hey, Rich. Hey, Bariatrion. How are you? Irish Moss is a great shout for an aftershave, actually. One day, right, I am going to reveal my vintage soap collection. And I do have a lot of vintage soap. I don't use them. So I only use Dove soap. I only actually use Dove soap. But excuse me. Oh, sorry. A vintage soap. That's right. I've got vintage soap. A to Z. You're right. You didn't have to delete that A to Z. I have got vintage soap. I've got an Egoist soap. I have got a polo soap. Why Dove? Does Manly Sense say? Because it's got the moisturizer in it, and my skin. It's the only soap that my skin doesn't like turn to shit. Why just big soaps, Alan? I don't understand, Alan. Rachel says, friends must run to the grocery store and get dinner ready. So happy to see you. Thank you, Rachel. Have a nice night. Bob says, where would you live if you had to? Ireland, Wales, or Scotland? Probably Scotland. Because I live basically on the fucking border anyway. You know what I mean? Basically live next to Scotland as it is. I live like literally 2 minutes from Hadrian's Wall. Shiva, I bet that interlude is your favourite from Negrin. Tobacco by Mora is indeed a damn good aftershave, says Anush. Ah, Alan, I get you now. You mentioned your big soap collection, and I'm wondering why you don't collect all soaps of different sizes, because they might get lost on my person. I need a big soap so I can find it easily. I do have some. I've got a pour and om. Do you know Caron pour and om? I've got a pour and om soap, and that smells all right. Uh, uh, Sorry. All right, friends, got to study. Thanks for coming, Jossie. It's been nice having you. Please don't be a stranger. The nights are really putting in. It's fucking dark now. It's 10:15. Like, it wasn't getting dark until like 10:30, 11 o'clock, like a month ago. You know? Strange how the world turns. Floral Note says, what do you look for in a good candle, Rich? Well. Interesting that you say these things, because I am actually going to have to go to the shop and look for a new candle. What I look for in a good candle is a good price, not anything crazy. I look for something that suits the time of year. Something that has not got that fucking shitty fucking black stuff that comes off. That shitty black stuff that comes off, like the wax, not the wick, the wax. Like some waxes are very poor quality. You want something that's got a long burn time, even though it's not a big candle. Some candles, like Yankee candles, will have big candles, and the big candles will burn forever simply because of their size, not because they are a particularly good wax. Your wax you should get a lot of burn hours. I've just finished a Penhaligon's Assam tea candle, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's very rosy though. Dior make good candles. I would say the best thing to look for is something that fits in context with the season, and a house that's got a good name. I have been through at least 20 diptyque candles. Absolutely easily. I have got an Amber Nuit candle from Dior, and I also have an Oud Wood candle from Tom Ford. And I'm looking forward to burning them in the autumn. But I think before I burn those, I'm going to go and get myself a Feuille de Lavant by Diptyque candle. That lavender is stunning. I have a Neroli Imperial soap from Dior, very strong, just sitting inside the box. Yeah, Dior make really good like soaps and stuff like that, and candles as well. Ryan D is here, welcome. Interference, oh sorry, I've read that. Manly Senses, my favourite soaps are Polo Green and Guerlain Vetiver. My favourite shower gels are Loewe Essenzia, Loewe Pour Homme, and Arrogance Pour Homme. So, I've got a Guerlain Vetiver soap, and it is absolutely stunning. Moroccan Oil Cleansing Bar is superb. The Bar Soap Guy rates it as the best soap he's ever tried. Yes, Bar Soap Guy's great. I've been subscribed to Bar Soap Guy since before he had like 100 subscribers. I've been subscribed to him for years. I have all things interlude, says Shiva. 53, Black Iris and Woman. Prof. Melvin says, I recommend Boy Smells candles. Outrageous. Fosco says, how's Interlude Woman, Shiva? Bob says, yes, let's talk candles. FM or Diptyque? Diptyque. I've had a couple of FM. I've had a couple of Frederick Mall candles, and I wasn't impressed. Hammer says, what type of watch do you wear? I have a Tag Carrera Calibra 5. Prof Melvin says, interesting name, quality candles. Have you tried Cafe Society candle by Marl? Yes. Not huge on it. I heard you visit the Scent Masters, Fosco. What did you think? Asked Ryan. Lily says, what makes a candle worth its price for you? What's too much? I have to consolidate some left behind candle wax into a new candle. What makes a candle worth its price to you? The quality of the smell. It's very much like perfume. You can smell a good candle a mile away. If you're looking for scented candles. Diptyque make great candles. You've got to get good burn hours from the size of the candle as well. So say you get like a 190 gram candle. You should be looking for like 50 hours from that. 40 hours at least. 50 hours. I would go with a reputable house. Even burn, good quality wax with the fucking... I know it sounds stupid and pointless and easy, but make sure the wick is scented. You know? Make sure the wick is actually stuck to the bottom of the candle and it's not just like floating, like without actually being anchored properly. That's happened to me before. Yeah. Candles versus incense candles. Candles provide light and ambience. JJ says, for those in the States, some frankincense and myrrh soap is sensational. They're mist as well. Fosco says, Ryan D, Hidden Gem, I got a vintage Eau de Hermes and Aramis JHL. An Aramis JHL. That's for the wreck. Outrageous. Wooden wick candles are another level of ambience. Love them, says Floral Notes. Manly Scent says, I'd also say that Brute and Old Spice shower gels are utter shite. Pinot Silvestre, on the other hand, is cheap and cheerful. Oh, interesting. That's helpful, says Lily. I love Bon Parfumé Honey Yabacco candle. I don't know if that's meant to say tobacco or actually mean yabacco. Get your back up? Yabacco. Ryan says, Fosco, amazing for where it is, isn't it? I got 2 vintage Eau de Hermes bottles from them. What a gem, right? Say Trudon candles are amazing, but expensive, says Professor Melvin. Fosco says, yeah, name dropped you as well. Those vintage Loutons are tempting, but they price them high. Who? What? Vintage Loutons? Where? Bob says, when a gal lights a candle in her room, she hasn't invited you up just to watch a movie. Know what I mean? Flora Note says, don't buy candles off Etsy. I was scouring through pages and pages. They all say they use the same fragrance oil blends like the exact note pyramids from different shops. Clone candles? Oh no. We're through the looking glass now, people. JJ says, I was curious about that house in general, Prof. Melvin. Cire Trudon. Or Cire Trudon. Yeah, they're a bit high on some stuff. You're not wrong. You got to check the vintage Goutal stock. Whose? Who are you talking about? Yeah, JJ Flared Orange was almost a purchase. Fosco, where are you? Where are these from? What are you talking about? Tell me where I can find these vintage Surge. Shiva says, Fosco would actually wear Interlude Woman in the spring here, which is a European summer. It's not lighter in scent, but lighter in projection. Sillage heavier than Interlude Man. Outrageous. Oops. The Scent Masters, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. What's the Scent Masters? I have got vintage Eau de Sud. and it's amazing. Can you recommend me a good fig scent? I'm on the hunt. Sant Al Messiah is a good fig scent. Dune is probably my favourite fig scent. Marc Jacobs is a good fig scent. Fico di Amalfi is a good fig scent. Vosco, what is this website where there is some scent masters? Oh, sorry, right, I'm miles behind the curve. I've just realised. Best Marc Jacobs by Marc Jacobs, that's right. I got a vintage order sud from them a couple of weeks ago. That oak moss, yes. Yes, that's right. It's a sensation. I love the lime at the top as well. It's brilliant. I wasn't too impressed with their vetiver because it was black. It was dark and tarry. And it reminded me of Root de Vetiver by, what's it called? Root de Vetiver by, what are they called? Maître Parfumier Elegante, I beg your pardon. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Dune Pour On was included. Philosopos EDP, yes. Ninfeo Mio. Do you know Ninfeo Mio? I've got a funny story about that. I smelled Ninfeo Mio in the shop and I smelled it in the shop and I was blown away by it on stick, like on a tester strip. I thought it was absolutely incredible, beautiful. And I was ready to buy it, picked up a bottle and everything. We're going to the till and I was like, oh, like put some on my hand so I can smell it when I'm like walking around. I put it on my hand and that shit turned to fucking toxic waste. It was grim. I was like, mate, I can't buy this, smell it. Even the bloke smelled it on my hand. He was like, oh, that is rotten, isn't it? And I was like, hey, fucking right, is it rotten? Really bad. So I had to put it back, which wasn't very nice. But sorry about that, Jonathan. I did a whole bottle of that 20 years ago, says Bob. Trusadi Python is figgy too. Don't like it though. Yeah. I think Ramsey likes it. Ramsey got it and he liked it, I think. They don't put the vintage on the website, unfortunately, says Fosco. That's a nightmare. They don't have it. Lily Heels, Marc Jacobs, or Jimmy Choo. Neither. Jimmy Choo's fucking one of the worst designer brands that there is. It's fucking awful. Cheers, JJ. See you later. I'm not going to be on for much longer. I'll go on for like until 2 hours. How long's that? That's like another 20 minutes. It is truly sad when a fragrance doesn't agree with us. I agree. Whatever I find at discount, as Bob says, Lily. It's truly sad when a fragrance doesn't agree with us. I agree. I agree that it's sad when it doesn't agree. Fig Infusion by Essential Parfums, created by Natalie Lawson, is a good fig perfume, says Enrique. Do you know I haven't tried that? Often cheap and off-brand, says Lily. That's me. I think they're slowly working on posting their vintage on the website, but it's just two people running their business. Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? Open toes are closed, says Bob. Depends on the outfit, says Lily. Don't wear sandals, says Rich Mitch. I just worry about sandals because it feels as though they're gonna like burn you. You're gonna get your fucking feet sunburned. You know what I mean? Proper nightmare. Do you know, Super Jacob was streaming earlier, and I was like in his chat and stuff like that and listening, and at one point, I swear to God, he had 400 people watching him. If I had 400 people watching us, I think I would get a nosebleed. I did have a nosebleed the other day. Antonio Hobson says, never tried a fake fragrance. Am I missing out? It's interesting. It's an interesting note, definitely. Professor Melvin says, Jacob was still streaming. I think, yeah, he's an absolute hero when it comes to streaming. Like, it's unbelievable. Bob says, that's handbags. Yeah. Those handbag people are fucking love their handbags. Like, Manly Sense says, if you have 400 watchers, you can't keep up with the chat. Changes the dynamic of the stream. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. I'm quite happy with, like, the amount of people watching me and, like, subscribe to us and all of that sort of thing, you know? Like, I don't want to be, like, some people, like, chase the numbers and stuff like that. I just, nah. I'd rather have, like, a good community than have loads of people, you know? And I think you lose your sense of community the bigger you get. And I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like to get out of touch. Shiva says, Rich Mitch, you know I have a vintage Dune and have yet to wear it. Sad, but I've been spraying on so many in my summer haul. Yeah, I've got a vintage Dune, but I wear the newer stuff because obviously the vintage Dune's like harder to come by, you know? So I don't want to use it all up. It's not perfect. Oh, dear me. I've got a spot on my lip. Absolute nightmare. The worst kind of spots, the ones on your lips. Rich, how's the back doing? Says Ryan. Back is okay. I'm getting there. I can sit up. I need to start working on like doing some what do you call it? Exercise. I need to start walking. It's more the side effects of having a immune system disorder that are getting us at the minute, you know? Fatigue, permanent fatigue, brain fog, mental fatigue-ish, pain, generalized pain, but it could be worse, you know? I'm on some super treatment and I'm better than I was, definitely. Very lucky to live in a part of the world that provides such care, you know? Enrique Vasquez, what are your top 3 Cartier perfumes? Oh, fucking hell. Roadster would be number 1. And the rest, Santos. Ooh, is Santos not better than that? Is Santos not better than Roadster? No. Not at the minute. Maybe I'll change my mind when I start wearing Santos in the autumn and the winter. I don't know. I've got the concentrate as well, but I don't know if I would. I think I've only got two. I've got Lonvol as well, sorry. So I would have to say those three. Pasha, got Pasha as well. Pasha probably more than Lonvol, if I'm being honest. Rudy told me he's busy filming his top five and five. Oh, excellent. That guy has to choose between all the amber wood he loves. Must be hard, says Lily. Ooh. Kavkazip says, order vintage Givenchy, gentleman by Givenchy, but they sent vintage Monsieur de Givenchy. That is a kick in the balls. That is not good. Send that shit back. I've got Monsieur de Givenchy and I like it, but vintage Givenchy gentleman is much better. It's a confusing name though, and that's not ideal, is it? It's not great. I wonder what I'm going to wear tomorrow. I have to see what the heat's doing. It's meant to rain over the weekend and then be scorching hot again next week. I can't be arsed with that. Lol, says Bob. After knowing Rudy, I feel guilty or cheap for all my likes with amberwood in it. I hate that shit. Max Amberwood. Ruining perfume. It's such a cop-out. You know? Uh-huh. And I found what I'm looking for. Oops. I'm moving to Antarctica at this point, says Smoke. See, I fucking would join you, like. I can't be dealing with the outrageous fucking heat. What the fuck? I'm not built for this. I'm not built for this kind of heat. I'm a big fucking horrible Viking. Like, it should be like snowing constantly where I am. You know? Like, I can't deal with the chronic heat. You've seen all the rivers that have dried up. Something crazy. Too hot. See, even Fragrance View's hot. Look at him. Sweating. He's bright red and sweating. Enrique says, when people say that Narciso Rodriguez for him is great for rainy days, do you agree, Rich? I certainly do. It's fantastic. It's exactly what it's for. Ryan says, I hear that, Rich. Not easy to do the natural treatment all the time, but keep after it. There's definitely a place for it. Like, I mean, just like having a healthy lifestyle and like all of that sort of thing. Yeah. Like that there is no bad time to start like natural, normal, healthy living sort of thing will always help your health, you know? Like I do with eating less fucking sugar. Because that combined with the fact that I don't get much exercise, I'm gonna end up with fucking various other ailments that I don't need. Bob says, did you really get a portable AC after all these years? Yes. I've actually always had one, would you believe? And then I gave one to my friend earlier this summer because it was broken. It wouldn't work when I turned it on. And then he took it apart, put it back together, and it was working again. And then my friend actually had one because years ago we bought two. And she lent us it because she enjoys the heat. Two, she sits in her kitchen, which is the coldest room in her house all the time. So she was happy to part with it. And the room that I sit in all of the time at my house is the hottest room in my house. So, disaster. You know? I'd got it because my need was greater than hers. She asked us today, she was like, do you want to buy it? And I was like, no, I just prefer to lend it for nothing, thank you. Wesley Garlic, how are you, sir? Which is your favourite American comedian, Richard Pryor? There's a lake in Nevada that's drying up and dead bodies are turning up from it. Ugh, gross. I like my rainy, dank weather. Yes, that's right. We are British, though. How hard are ACs to come by in the UK, EU? You can get them. It's just nobody does because the weather's usually so shite. We're much more concerned with heating ourselves than fucking cooling ourselves. But the changing climate, whatever's causing it, we can argue till we're blue in the face, but it's fucking getting hotter. I don't give a shit what anyone says. It's fucking never been like this before. There's a consistent upward trend in terms of fucking temperature, and it's not fun. So, and I'm not built for that shit. I'm built for being cold and having to stay warm, and that's why I've got some extra layers, as in a big belly. It's not a big belly, but it is a belly. It's bigger than yours. Everybody I'm talking to there. Smoke says easy floral notes. Yeah, they are available, definitely. It's just not that common, although in Spain and Portugal it is more common. Yeah, poor João with the heat wave in Portugal. Jesus. Portugal's just on fire. Fosco says violets in the rain is perfection. Yeah. I love heliotrope for the rain, says Ryan D. I like ambergris. I like ambergris for the rain, and there's something else I like for the rain as well, and I can't remember what it is. I've got another perfume that's perfect. Encens Mythique. Encens Mythique is fantastic in the rain. So whatever it is that's going on in there, you can get rose in the rain as well. Wesley Garlic is still here. Welcome. Summer used to be maybe 3 weeks long in the UK, so it wasn't worth buying an AC. Yeah, you just get a fan. Fosco says, good call, Ryan. Le Bleu is sensational in the rain. $100 Fosco Xenia Woma. Shiva says they have Harp weather machine on full blast this season. I wish they would fucking turn it all the way to the other side. Make it colder instead of hotter. Smoke C says, yes, Shiva, you're on it, mate. Floral notes, that's what I know, Smoke C. So I was wondering if there hasn't been a use for them, if places would keep them stocked at all, says Floral notes. Yeah, they're there. Bob says, Le Bleu on the Orient Express to Istanbul. My God. Never tried it, Bob. I'm a disgrace to Italians, says Fosco. Caillou says, Burmese or Malaysian oud in the rain. Interesting. See, I know nothing of oud. Like, I am completely ignorant of oud. Ryan says, yes, le bleu EDP, l'eau d'hiver for wintertime rain. Mandragore, pourpre in the summer, says Ryan. Smoke C says, violet leaf is what I like for the rain. Yeah. And Rita says, are you going to live stream with Ramsey? Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes. Vetiver in the rain, that's another one. Fosco, well said. Vetiver in the rain. Encre Noir in the rain. Beautiful. Dark vetiver in the rain. Brilliant. Jonathan, good evening, friends. Duck, how do? I'm well, Jonathan. How are you, mate? When are you going to start making videos as well? Shiva says, that's Lake Mead. They collected over 116 bodies last I heard. Good God. There'll be murders and suicides and all sorts mixed in there with those, and just straight up accidental deaths as well. Wesley says, scent of the day is Herod by Parfums de Marly. Outrageous. Smoke C says, oud surely has to be the next step for you, Rich. I took the plunge and I'm loving it. I'm in deep now. Deep in now. The problem with ouds is that they are exceedingly expensive. I have been looking at Atars. There are some vintage Amouage Atars that I would love to get. I would love to get Al Andalus. Someone very kindly sent me a mill of Al Andalus, an old Atar by Amouage, and what a fucking fragrance that is, by the way. It's absolutely glorious. Incredible. It smells like Fougère Noir. Somebody else in the chat sent me a little bottle of, I think it was like a half toller or even a quarter toller or something like that of Fougère Noir by Sultan Pasha, and that's stunning as well. What's up, Joe? Soon, says Jonathan. Yes, I know. I was just trying to get you to be quick because I am impatient as fuck. But scent of the day, Arden for men's sandalwood cologne. Do you know what's really outrageous? I honestly picked that up today and thought I'm going to wear this, and then I ended up going with Loewe Pour Homme instead. Outrageous. I swear to God, I really did pick that up today and think I'm going to wear that. And then I went with, well, I've already said that, Loewe Pour Homme. Lily says, oud is a venture that I just can't get into. For the price alone, it is prohibitively expensive. It really is very, very expensive, and it's sad that it's so expensive. Because it's prohibitive. AW says, hello, scent of the day, Guerlain Vetiver. Great scent of the day, and welcome, AW. It's nice to see you. Smoke C says, I'll send you some stuff. Let's exchange emails tomorrow. I'm drowning in oud, and I don't mind sharing. You're too kind. If you want anything off me, I'll sort you out, no problem. Antonio says, AW, one of my all-time favorites. Smoke C says, floral notes starts with the easy stuff. I never ever thought I'd like it. Never mind, love it. You get there's loads of people whose like opinions I respect, and a lot of people whose opinions I don't respect, who say that they absolutely love oud, you know. So it's I've always thought about getting into oud. I would never get into the type of oud sort of collecting that I have done with perfumes collecting. Do you know what I mean? I would want to get some good quality stuff, but I wouldn't want to get too far into it, like, because you can spend fucking hundreds of thousands. Like, there's some serious money kicking about in oud, you know. I've tried with a few ouds before, and I have never got it. So, yes, the oud money put runs deep, says Jonathan. It does. You've got to know what you're doing. I would want someone who already was like, who was already au fait with the market, or someone who already knew what they were talking about to like have your best interests at heart. Jossie says you guys are still going. Yes, until the 2 hour mark, which has just passed. So we'll be wrapping up in a minute. But some oud vendors won't even tell you about the good stuff until you spend like 5 to 10,000. Yeah, that's sort of like Hermes with their Kelly bags, the Birkin bags. Sorry, they won't even put you on the list. They won't even tell you that they've got any in store unless you've already spent 10, 20, 40, 50, 60 grand on other bags, on other Hermes stuff. You know, you've got to spend money to be allowed to get stuff like that. It's fucking batshit, like. But it's the same principle as what Caillou's saying there, you know? That's true, but Bortnikov is actually reasonable considering the quality. Well, I have Oud Monarch and Oud Maximus in the little 9mm, I think they're 9mm or 7mm bottles, and I am dying for the weather to cool down a bit so that I can actually wear them properly. And maybe I want a proper oud perfume. I mean, I've got the night, you know, so I've got an oud perfume, but like an oud like that, like either that or a Sultan Pasha or an Ensar oud, you know, like a real oudy oud. Caillou knows what he's talking about. I've got Caillou's email at the minute, so we could have some correspondence at some point. He could guide us. Update, Rouge Hermes smells a lot like Parfum de Terrace by Frederic Malle, says Omar. This is like McDonald's. I'm loving it, says Smokesy. What are you loving, Smokesy? I'm glad you're loving something, but I don't know what it is. Pfft, don't need a Birkin bag, says Floral Notes. I ain't got a plastic bag. Be fine. Aroma from Heaven says, oud is the last stage of complexity you can get to. Once your nose gets used to it, there's no going back. Outrageous. Wes says that anyone that wants any information on oud, my partner is an oud floozy. A floozy. Indeed. I'll remember that though, Wesley. Caillou says, Rising Phoenix just released 6 or 8 ouds, all really well priced from many regions even. I think Rambler would set you up mint with a starter kit, says Bob. Enrique says, when are you going to the store to sample Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum? Don't know. It certainly won't be tomorrow. I'll be hanging on for dear life tomorrow, but maybe early next week, Monday, Tuesday. I don't know. Depends. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. I feel like oud is not my thing so far, says Omar. It's kind of where I'm at. I'm open-minded. I got Rising Phoenix as my saw. Absolutely stunning, says Fosco. Bry says, come on now, Duck. You're going down the rabbit hole again with the I need a perfume for one that's... Yes. Yes, you're right. I need to be careful. I need to rein me. I need to stock up for winter as far as heat is concerned. The price of the fucking fuel over here is absolutely outrageous. They're going to do something like... They're talking about nationalising the fucking... That's how bad it is. They're talking about nationalising the fucking... the energy companies. Oh. Bob, I'll reach out soon to shoot the breeze, says John. Jossie says $1,600 Balenciaga trash bag. Scandalous, some of the shit they're fucking peddling. Lego East says, get a Centurion card, you can get anything you want. What's that? Say hello to Alan Wes, says Jonathan. Still going, FCM says. Outrageous. Western Ood says, hi, Rich Chat, sent of the day on Taste Sport, compliments of the duck. Ah, nice, are you enjoying it? Western Ood. You sound like you know what's going on with the Ood. Peter just released a video, says, Caillou, yes, I'm looking forward to watching that after I finish the stream in a couple of minutes. John, no worries, keep working on that collection vid, says Bob Smoke C. An easy Oud to love is Oud Maliki. It's obviously not real, but it's a pretty good Oud accord. That is a Chopard, if I know correctly. Sultan Pasha blends better than Bortnikov, in my opinion, says Fosco, by a large margin. I'll tell you, that Sacred Scarab by Zoologist is lovely. I can see a bottle of that coming at some point, like probably next month, maybe the month after. Beautiful. Bob says, how's that Paprika Brazil going? Do you know, I really like that fragrance. Something I've noticed about the bottle I've got is that there's a hell of a lot more iris in it than I thought before. Like, I've gone through a 15ml before. You know, one of those little bottles you can get from Hermes. I went through a 15ml of Paprika Brazil, and I thought it was literally just spice. And then I've got this big bottle, this 100ml bottle, and it's all iris. It's crazy. It's like Chergui. FCM says, I got that Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum sitting in my mailbox right now in 100 Fahrenheit. Yikes. I don't get home till sunset. Run. Pull a sickie. Dinner time, says Jonathan Duck, and friends, have a great night. You have a great night as well, mate. Enjoy, Jonathan. Western Oud, he knows what's going on with Almang Oud, says Bob. FCM says, Rising Phoenix got the Mysore Sandalwood, Musk, Taif, bunch others. Etsy, very reputable. He did do Zoologist Dodo, which was a dud, but he has raw materials. I like Oud Malaki. I think it's by Ropion. Nice for winter. Jack Dean is here. Welcome, Jack Dean. Hi, Rich. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. How are you, Jack Dean? Outrageous Fosco, says Smoke C. How highly do you rate Naomi Good Serve fragrances, says Dino? I rate them extremely highly. Bois d'Assis is beautiful. And Iris Cendre is my... That and Heris by Hermes. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful iris fragrances. Iris Cendre is like... It's a stunner, like. I've got to be honest. It's an absolute stunner, like. I recommend that. Aroma from Heaven. What makes oud special is that oud is not actually wood, unlike everyone else thinks. Oud is a leftover of a long war between the tree and all types of bacteria and other species. That leftover can save millions of smells around it for hundreds of years sometimes. Yeah. Fosco says, Brandon from Therapeutic Fragrance did a notorious video on Bortnikov, and I thought it was spot on. Is it still up? I liked Brandon. I still like Brandon. He just hasn't been around for a long time. And it's a shame that he stopped making videos because he was really good. He was very educational for me. I learned a lot of stuff from Brandon. Oof. Paprika Brazil is a big iris. It's a huge iris, bro. Dino says I'm outside, just seen a shooting star. I think, yeah, it's that Perseid meteor shower tonight and the super moon. The moon's meant to be huge. Super moon. Jack says, with this heat, I keep worrying about my entire collection. Poor things. Keep them out of the light. Keep them in a south face, in a north facing room. And keep them out of the light. Put them in a cupboard or something. FCM says, why did Brandon disappear in such a dubious way? I don't know, but I know that he got paranoid thinking that Ifra were watching him and stuff like that. He was a bit worried about that. I think he walked the line a little bit, Brandon. Last videos he had big plans. Yeah, I remember that. He was a good lad, Brandon, though. I liked him. Dino says, I nearly got a sample years ago. I think it was the queer one. Of the Naomi Good, say. There's the Corpus Equus, and I think there's another one that's a Queer Velours. Yes. I've got them all. Smoke C says, not buying what you're selling, Fosco. Sounds like hate speech to my ears. What's your beef with Dimitri? I don't know. I think Fosco's got some Bortnikovs, hasn't he? Flight and Gravity, welcome. I have a Scala Haiti and Indonesi. Been reading about the other Les Indomitable perfumes, and they all sound lovely. I've got 4. Actually, I've got 6 Les Indomitable, because I've got both the colognes, and I've got Vanille Havan, I've got Ambra Supreme, Rose de Jamal, and the Spruce one, Queer Velours. Not Queer Velours. Oriental Velours. Shiva says, Fosco Sultan Pasha is in my list once I make a fragrance ball. Bill, any recommendations? Fosco says, I own 4 Bortnikov Smoke Scene. No hate at all. I just think he released too much that shared similar records. Dino says, where can you buy kerosene frags from, and are they any good? You can buy them at Roulier White. There's a website called Roulier White in London, and they sell them. That's where I got mine from. And yes, they are good. You can get his sample set as well from him directly, but it's not the greatest sample set in the world. They come in those little fucking tiny little fucking vials that are like 0.5 ml big, and they're not even dabbers, you know. They're just like little vials that you would pop the top off and stuff like that. No, I wasn't impressed. Floral Notes has put the website in the chat, Roulier White. Smoke C says, I'm messing with you, Fosco. I agree to an extent, but it doesn't take away from the quality. That's why I spent a lot of time sampling before I bought my first Bortnikov. I chose 3, and it's all I need. Shiva Fougere Noir in Idissoir. And I forget the name of the one he did as a recreation of an old Amouage guitar. I think it's his top seller, says Fosco. Hello, Rich and chat. Hello, Adam D. Which 4 did you get, Smoke C, says to Fosco. Outrageous, Smoke C. Which did you go for? I really like his Vetiver Nocturne. As the website spelt, doesn't it? Oud Maximus, Vetiver Nocturne, Oud Sinharaja, and Leur Exquise. If that's the case, there was massive overlap with Russian Adams releases too. Lol, says Caillou. 2, even. Oud Sinharaja, Coupe de Foudre. Moss Cologne says Smoke 60. I would need someone to hold my hand and help as I did that. Type of shit that would just make me break down and cry if I was to see all these names and fucking all these different things. It's something I would have to get into and get into slowly. But they're very inaccessible. Ouds, because you can't get like... So I got Russian Adam's 6th collection. Not the perfumes, the sample sets. And I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed whatsoever. But there weren't any ouds in there. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. So it's something I need to like pay attention to and get around. But I do have those two. I do have Oud Monarch and Oud Maximus. You know, Oud Maximus turned very, very, very powdery on me, and it was deeply upsetting. I was not expecting that. I own Maximus, Mysterious, Monarch, and Amber Cologne. Monarch is my favourite, but they're all good. Yeah, I like Monarch. Monarch's a chocolatey one. It's really nice. I do want to get Maximus, this smoke say. Guy who says, I got a Noir should have been in the 6th collection. It was. Yes, you're right. I own it. I'm currently testing the supposed similarities between Opium Pour Arm and Penhaligon's LP number 9, and I gotta say I much prefer the Opium. Opium's fucking glorious, like. Fosco says, I think Russian Adam has much more variants personally, but Aegon Noir, Russian Oud, and the other Oud share similarities. West Nude says, sorry, Rich, was just busy sorting stuff out. Yeah, mate, love that Antaeus Sport. Do you get the heavy note, the honey note in it that's in it more than the original Antaeus? I do, loads of it. No, I would have to go and smell it, mate. Fighting Gary says, pour on, pardon the autocorrect, that's quite alright. Okay, friends. It's been over 2 hours now. You've got an extra 15 minutes out of this, haven't you? Oh, fuck it, we'll go for another 12 minutes. Get to 2.5 hours, eh? Yes, I'm intrigued by your Oud talk. I'm happy to take advice from anyone on what to think of about ouds and stuff like that. I would like a big set piece oud fragrance, you know, something that was like quality and Texas oud behave. Steak oud. Dino says, any more backup bottles on the way, Rich? No, I do have some leather oud I'm looking to part with if anybody wants to buy some. I bought a bottle last week by mistake. So I'm happy to do decants if anyone wants to buy 50 ml. It'll be about 75 quid for 50 ml of leather oud if anyone wants one. Have to be in the UK though, sorry. Aroma from Heaven says, Rich, do you know a fragrance called Canon Sport? It's very old. I've heard of Canon, but I haven't smelled that fragrance. No, sorry. Encore says Fosco. 4 more years. Leather pood. Leather pood. That's right. So if anyone in the UK is tempted by some leather oud, let us know. I've already sold 50 ml, but I bought a 250 in a moment of weakness. Silly. But if nobody wants to buy any, I'll just wear it, like. I don't know. Ah! Excuse me. It's extremely rude that I keep yawning on stream, but it's the only place I do it, like. And in messages to Eugene. Ah, Eugene. Welcome. Buongiorno. Welcome. Adam's Edgier. Adam's edgier. Animalic and vintage French perfumery comes out of sun with his work. Botnikoff blends tend to be smoother, more floral, frangipani, more homogeneous blends. Dino, ask him some soccer questions. Eugene's here. 1 more hour. Not quite. But I will go until I've been in for 2.5 hours. Vasco says, I think my favourite oud is Night Song by Thierry Rienthal. Is it real oud? The replacement for leather oud is supposed to be oud rosewood. That can fuck off. Oud rosewood's nowhere, not a bit of oud rosewood for me. Leather oud's 10 times the fragrance, possibly more. I think my favourite oud is Night Song by Thierry Rienthal, says Fosco. I think I've read that already, haven't I? Flora Note says, that was weird, you just thought of him and he shows up. That's right. I know how to summon him. He knows how to summon me. He knows how to summon a duck. I know how to summon a Eugene. We just have to think hard enough, and then the other one will take, and then the other one will appear. What team is yours? Newcastle, of course. Newcastle United. Flight and Gravity says, I can't say I have a favourite oud since I'm not sure anything I have has real oud in it. Yeah, there's almost certainly no real oud in any sort of Western perfume. I mean, a couple of them will have, but 99 times out of 100, it won't, you know? Dino says, even my Stockport County fans are taking the piss. Oh dear. Have you seen that there? Marcus Rashford's wanting to join PSG, apparently. Can't believe what Frankie de Jong said about fucking Manchester, the shit house. He was like, oh, it's a shit city. I was like, fuck off. Oud is just a word in Western perfumery, means next to nothing. I agree. They just put it on as like a marketing thing, don't they? Oh, it's got oud in it, but it doesn't though, does it? Let's be perfectly frank here. Don't take the piss. Aroma from Heaven says, welcome to the chat, you smells good. I know that, says Bob. I meant Dino, what team? All right. He supports Manchester United. Wood, says Lily. Wood. Yeah, it's natural oud. What's natural oud? Fosco. Oh, sorry, the Thierry Rienthal thing. Sorry. I did have a debate this morning with two builders about who's better, Henry or Ronaldo, and obviously I said Ronaldo, not for Man United. Henry was better for Arsenal than Ronaldo was for Man United. You got 1 season out of him. One like top season. He fucked off to Real Madrid. He's fucked yous over, Ronaldo, by coming back. He's one of the most selfish, self-centered fucking accused rapists. He's an accused rapist as well. He's a horrible person. And Ryan Giggs is a shithouse as well. I've been reading what's been going on in the papers about him. Horrible. I hear they do have real oud, but just blended differently than what we call real oud, says Interference. Philadelphia Union, says Fosco. You can't choose your hometown team. I've been cursed my entire life with Newcastle. You know what I mean? My entire life has been cursed by the very existence of Newcastle United. I survived Mike Ashley. You know what I mean? It's going on my fucking tombstone, that. Good Lord. Dino says, I've seen some Maximin live, what a baller. Yeah, he's fucking quick as well. I've actually met him. He was in my department store, Phoenix. He was having dinner, so I didn't want to have dinner with like his family and his kids, so I didn't want to like pull him out and be like, oh, Alan, I love you. But I was like, oh, hi. I just said hello to him and like let him crack on with his life. I don't like stopping them in the street. I did see Mike Williamson once. He's manager at Gateshead, and he was really friendly. He's a really nice bloke. Seen him in a car park. Tall. He's like 6'5", 6'6". He's massive. And I'm 6'2". He dwarfed us. Interferences. In fact, I think they in the Middle East call it French blender, dude. Yeah, I think the Middle Eastern crowd take the piss out of like what they call like West nude. I think they see it as an opportunity to make money. Shiva Rain, take care, everyone. My golden doodle transitioned to a hog and wallowed in a pool of mud. That asshole ruined my afternoon. Goodbye, Shiva Vareen. Have a nice evening. A nice afternoon also. My dream. We are all in a dream. Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream, Lily? Possibly. How many miles does a player run during one match? Up to 11. I've seen 11. It might be kilometers, that. So you're talking 6, 7 miles. It's a long way. It's not like American football where like most of it's like adverts and fucking stoppages in play and conferring and all of that sort of thing. I often wondered that, Bob. Audrey Jane is here. Welcome, Audrey Jane, with your little wrench. Bless her. Good Lord, look who makes it at this hour. I know. She's had some friends around tonight. She made them dinner. Did he really fuck them last year? Let's we pay our players. Did he really fuck him? Did he really fuck him? Then at least we pay our players. Well, I mean, you've got to fucking look at fucking Mason Greenwood as well. Got some rich shithawks in the Man United squad. You think that Haaland will have a great season in the Premier League? I think Haaland would have a great season wherever he played. He's going to score hundreds of goals, that cunt. How's he stuck around Newcastle? I will never know. I thought he'd be sold off by now. We've got the richest owners in the world, mate. Don't you worry about that. Rich, are you serious? You're 6'2". I am 6'2". Built like a fucking house as well. It's mental. Haaland will get 30 goals this season, I think. Yeah, he'll score goals wherever. He's playing in the best team in the best league. He's the best player. The run he made for that second goal against West Ham was fucking scandalous. It was so good. Rich could probably engulf me, so imagine me around that other dude, Floral Notes. That's her dream, isn't it? Me engulfing her. Calm down, Lily. Dino says, I have to say every City player I've met have all been class, I have to say. It's nice when they're nice. Jack Grealish is a prick. I just think he's a silly prick, though. I don't think he's a bad prick. I just think he's silly. I also think he's a bit of a... He didn't know what an encyclopedia was, man. The silly fucker. How do you not know what it just shows you these kids are fucking, like, too much fucking money. Shouldn't be allowed to play football unless they fucking pass their grades. Make them intelligent, make them rounded people. Not like fucking Ryan Giggs. The shit that's come out about Ryan Giggs is absolutely scandalous. He shouldn't be allowed to show his face in public ever again. Horrible man. 48 now though, Ryan Giggs, you know. Mental, that. What's the time? How long have we been on? 2 hours and 30 minutes exactly. Excellent. Eugene has no idea who these people are. The horrible people. Eugene, that's how they are. I loved how Haaland's father stood up celebrating his son's goal. It was awesome. He's probably so proud of his son. Yeah. His son's an absolute fucking monster. He's a freak of nature. Like, he's like 6'4", and he's quick as fuck. Technique's outrageous. Left-footed, which just makes it even fucking worse. They don't speak of football on Canadian Sports Network, though. That's why Canada doesn't matter. Because That was extremely harsh. It's because they don't talk about football. Antonio Hobson, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It is time for me on that international incident that I've just caused. That it's time for me to bail. Thank you very much, everyone. It has been another great stream for me, anyway. I have enjoyed myself greatly. Thank you for keeping me company. Audrey Jane has just come in right at the end. But thank you for showing up, everybody, anyway. I hope you had a good time. I did, certainly. The night is only young. Well, then I will send you a WhatsApp then, Audrey Jane. I will see you all again soon, friends. Good night.